Hey everyone, welcome. I'm filming this a little bit before class if anyone shows up in person, just so I can do it without this mask on. It's just hard to hear with the mask. So, quick check-in. I know some of you have been asking if we've done Zoom meetings, and I have not. I am here live during the class time every week. And then when I film these on YouTube Live, obviously these can be found in the updates. So that's kind of like your announcement section. And here's all of the updates so far and for the whole semester. So I wanted to kind of do a quick dive into questions I've gotten about the syllabus. So we do have the online meetings, and that's the class participation that we'll get is meeting online, and then doing the discussion board questions. So whenever you go in here and you see these are due, we have one due on September 26th is the next one, the Compassionate Communication Group. Click on through here, watch the videos at the Nonviolent Communication website. It's called rocktheworld.com, the videos there, and then have your discussion about those, using nonviolent communication practice group, and remember to reply to classmates. So also have the major assignments. The first one, last semester we all went and observed the group at 444 Country Club Road, so that's why it's listed in there. You still can go to that meeting. You would have to wear a mask. That one was on Monday night, so it was during our class time. If you would like, next week we could also locate one during our Thursday night class time and go as a group. Entirely up to you all. That way, folks that don't have transportation could get a ride along, and then those that are able to share a ride can help drive and whatnot, so that's helpful for everybody. The assignment in that tab, you'll see paper to fill out, which I went over on the syllabus last week, but all the questions to answer about observing the group, that is one option. Now, if you are at an internship, I would heavily recommend you ask your supervisor to observe a group at your practice location, because that's going to be the most realistic and current. Alcoholics Anonymous and Al-Anon meetings are great, but they are not run by a licensed professional like a social worker. So my preference is you do something at your internship, or even if you ask juvenile courts or go to the juvenile detention center to see if you can observe one of the therapeutic groups that they run there. That would be great, because you'll see kind of how it happens live, or if you know somebody at a location that is practicing social work and that they have groups, again, get their permission to observe it. The AA meeting one is just the most frequented because it is the easiest accessible. I probably would give extra credit if you can find a real social work group. And you still can get full credit if you do the AA meeting observation. And now with the pandemic, there is a live like Zoom meetings. I think the AA intergroup webpage said there's 130 Zoom meetings, so there's a lot. And gives you a lot of options that way. Just make sure the meeting you observe is an open meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. The closed meetings are reserved to people who identify as an alcoholic. So as long as you're doing that, that is the first major assignment in the first month. I know we have a shortened few months here, so breaking down these months, you'll see the second major assignment then is actually leading a group. One of the locations that I've given for materials for leading a group is this Girls Facilitator Manual. So if you download that, it is in Schoology. That is a great resource. This is normally a 8-week-long group. We led this at Lighthouse often, along with our trauma group. So we had trauma-informed care, And I'll try to find those materials, but a lot of people really liked this one last semester. There are, the reasons why they run the group, and it gives it starting on page 17 of this manual, the education, page 18 has sexual abuse, page 19 has depression and violence, page 20 has bullying and even cyberbullying, as that's come into the 21st century. 21 has substance abuse, even eating disorders and sexual behavior, and then juvenile justice. The last one being economics. So it covered a lot of good topics for the girls. And then here's some of the format, starting on page 31 and 32, the opening ritual, and you have a theme introduction. So each one of you will lead one of these themes if you choose from the girls' manual. If you work at your own agency and are leading groups, or they have a group you could mimic here in class, that would be great. If you're doing it virtually, you'll just want to get an audience and then film it from either your cell phone or your laptop. And here's some of the groups that you can lead. They have several topics. So topic 1 is women and body image. Topic number 2 is boundaries. Topic number 3 is power. Topic number 4 is anger. Topic number 5 is tapping into our creative power. 6 is stress management. 7 is HIV prevention. 8 is domestic violence. 9 is substance use and abuse. 10 is men in power. 11 is affirmations. And then 12 is women and money. So they kind of go along those topics from depression to economics again. And then the groups that you can lead, you obviously can pull from here. It gives you what materials you'll need, what Girl Circle does, and then the different things that you'll lead in that group. So that there is an option for your second major assignment. So you'll lead this in person and pick a date. That's one of the discussion boards here soon. And then also let us know the topic so people don't do the same topic. And then if you'll do it virtual, I guess we could have people Zoom into class and lead the group on Zoom, or you would film it and then upload that for everyone to see, or we do it live and in person. So those are the options with the pandemic. Have a discussion for every week. Even put in a social work licensure exam guide, so some practice questions you guys can get started on. I know you won't take the practice exam until your final semester, senior year. That could be next semester for some of you, so January of your senior year when you graduate. If you're graduating in May, you can take the LSW exam by January, and these are practice questions for that. Then, so remembering to pick a date, that's actually September 30th, so it would be next week, right before we come into class. And then there's also the relationship with peers curriculum, so you can choose from this and some of the groups that you can lead from here. And that one is where there's a 10-week theme and activity overview. So here's other groups you can lead. Week 1, there's connecting with each other. Week 2 is labels and exploring new perspectives. Week 3 is expressing myself. And again, these give you the materials. Week 5 is cultivating respect. Week 6 is giving voice to our feelings. Week 7 is also giving voice to our feelings, but part 2. Week 8 is romantic relationships. What is it worth to you? Week 9 is girl fights or girlfriends. And then week 10 is wholeness and completion. So it gives you the icebreakers for the group, then resources, the master activity list, and then, everything that you would need. So that's another manual you can pick from. We use this at Lighthouse. And it was a very important theme for a lot of the girls group. So then going through these discussions, that's kind of the class participation. Attendance obviously will be in person next week for those of you coming in person. And those that aren't, just make sure you've got the note showing that you're an online student. And then getting towards the final paper. This is the third major assignment. So again, the small assignments are weekly discussion boards. First major assignment is observing the group. Second is leading a group, and you can pick from the girls' manual or something from your internship site. And then the final paper is creating a group proposal. So you could also use and cite the Girls Circle manual and a proposal you'd like to use at your either future work or internship. If you're there now, that's fine. And a group you'd like to lead there, or a grant that you would like to write for them. And that's kind of a big deal because, as mentioned before, sometimes the only funding that these agencies get is for your from those grants.gov is where you go to find different places to get funding. We once did a horticulture therapy group with our asylum status refugees at St. Leo's Food Pantry. And also eradicating homelessness by 2020 at Lighthouse Youth Services. So I'll put up some of those examples of what writing a grant would look like. So if you would like to start your own agency and you're doing things to, work towards your independent licensure and then start your own program, this is a perfect example of how you would get funding. A lot of times that's the only way you can get funding. So I wanted to put that up in there. Give you guys the option to pick from those three and, get some practice in leading groups, because that's what a lot of times as an intern, that's what they'll have you do. That's what they want you to do. And then also as a new LSW, that's what, the groups are where a lot of the agencies see the most clients and can serve the most clients. So they do a lot of group work, and something to keep in mind. So you have options and learn how to do this form of practice. It also is, for our CSW accreditation, this is one of the big options and big examples of what we need to use to get fully accredited is teaching you guys groups, learning how to run a group, and then also observing a group so you know what they look like. So that's kind of the update for the class. I am here in person this week. I know we don't want to go fully in person until next week. So just be sure to wear a mask and look forward to seeing you all and then getting some of the questions that come about through this whole process, because it definitely can bring some good questions. So see you then and have a good one.